All right. We're talking about molar mass. Now, there's a definition for molar mass that you need to know, and that definition is molar mass is the sum of all the atomic masses, pretty much, the sum of all the atomic masses of all the atoms in a formula unit of all the atoms in a formula unit of all the atoms in a formula unit
of all the atoms in a formula unit.
Written in units of grams. Grams, like the weight grams. Yeah, Grams. Okay? Alright, so the atomic mass of any atom is just the mass of that atom on the periodic table. Okay? The atomic mass of vanadium is 50.9415. Okay, you're going to need your test references out if you don't have mine already.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. But it's not just 50.9415 because it doesn't. That number by itself doesn't have any units. The units are grams. The species is vanadium. You've got to include that. All right. But if I have a compound, then it's the sum of all the atoms.
Yep.
The sum of all the atoms, written in grams. And the neat thing about this is it's always equal to 1 mole of that same formula unit. It's always equal to 1 mole of that same formula unit. In this class, that's what I require you to write when you write an equality statement. Okay? So, let's see. Pick something other than what's in the unit handout, because I think I got CO2 already in the unit. No, I got O2. Yeah, I do have CO2 in there as well. All right, let's do, how about PCl3?
Yes, that's what I wanted to do.
Okay, so here's PCl3. PCl3.
Right.
What's the name of this thing?
PCl3 phosphorus.
Phosphorus trichloride. It's 2 nonmetals. You've got to use those prefixes. It's not organic, so we're not going to use the organic system. We're going to use the non-organic covalent naming system. Okay? Phosphorus trichloride. Okay. So how many phosphorus atoms do we have?
Obviously, only Udo.
And how many chlorine atoms do we have? 3. Okay? 3. So we have to add up the sum of all of those atoms.
4.
Okay? So there's a phosphorus here, and its atomic mass, 30.973762.
That's a mouthful. 97376. So you have to keep the whole number?
You have to keep the whole number for me. Some teachers may do it differently, and in college you may be able to do it differently, but for this class at this time, this is what I want you to do. Okay?
30.973762.
Yeah. And then chlorine is going to be 35.453. But I have 3 of them. And since it's the sum of all the atoms, I've got to add it 3 times.
Oh, gosh. Can you just do times 3?
Don't get ahead of me here.
Yeah, dude, stop.
Actually, he's dead on the money. We're going to do that in a minute. Okay? All right, so we got some empty slots over here, don't we? And we cannot write zeros over here because that would imply a degree of precision we don't have. Okay? All right, then you get out your trusty little calculator. All right.
His name's Tom.
Now, let's see. The light doesn't really shine on this too good. I need to get a new lamp that kind of. Anyway. So 30.973.762. Whoop. I don't need that decimal place, that's for sure. Delete. And plus 35.45453. Can't see in this light. 453 plus 35.453 plus 35.453 and hit enter, and I get 137.332762.
What? Mine doesn't go out that far. Look at this goes 333. And then it stops. How do you?
How far does your calculator go?
It says 137.333.
There's a way. You need to ask your math teacher how to do that. I don't know how to change the display on that one to give you.
It just it rounds it.
Yeah.
How do you change
You gotta get to
Battery thing. It's like a
General.
Hello? Yes.
Can I borrow your batteries for the day? I'll give them back.
I thought you were going to get some batteries. What is the matter with you? Ah.
I just have so much schoolwork. You have triple loaded?
I don't have that many.
I just need to.
You need 4. I know, but see, I only got 5. Oh no, I got 6. Here. Okay. All right. What else we got to do here, folks? What else do we need to do here? Got to round it off. These 3 digits get rounded off. So we get 137.33. That 7 rounds this 2 up to a 3. We're going to write it in units of grams. That doesn't have a lot of meaning to us unless we tell what it applies to us. We're going to write PCL3 because that's what it applies to. And in this class, always, everybody listening? Always, you're going to write that this equals 1 mole of that species. Okay? No, you can do either one. The question is, can you write MOL or MOLE, and you can do either one. Doesn't matter. Okay? MOL is the German spelling, and it was best I understand from the history is that it was actually a German word or a Latin word, and either one of those was spelled MOL. The English spelling is MOLE. Okay? All right. So I think the Latin word, the guy who came up with the name might have been using Latin, or he might have been using German. Either way, it would have been MOL. Okay? The term actually means heap or pile.
How long ago they played?
I don't know. Okay. No, I don't. Now, let's see. Who was it that asked about multiplying? There you go. Bob over there. Okay. So, yeah, sometimes it gets a lot easier than multiplication, doesn't it? So here's what, this is acceptable, but here is the preferred method that I want you to use. And the reason is because a little bit later on it's going to save you some time on a different kind of calculation, okay? So here's what I want you to do. When I'm looking on your work, homework, classwork, test work, whatever, I'm looking for your calculation to be done in this fashion. You're still going to write phosphorus.
Same number?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
All right.
You're still going to write chlorine.
Chlorine? That's like the stuff in my pool. I don't even have one.
Actually, what you have in your pool is something a little bit different.
Oh, it is? Like what?
It's a chlorine salt. It's probably a chlorate or perchlorate you have in there.
That's amazing. Oh,
Very few people actually use chlorine gas anymore.
Really?
It's dangerous.
oh. Good thing I don't swim in it.
All right, so, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to take and multiply both of these with a number of them in the formula. So since there's only one phosphorus, we're going to multiply this times 1. And since there are 3 chlorines, we're going to multiply that times 3.
Why do we have to write something?
Oh, one out there.
Because I'm picky.
There we go.
And so we still have these 3 empty slots over here. We're going to round off when we get done.
Sure do.
So you don't write equals, you put a colon.
No, I'm sorry. That's equals. Okay. So that's the same number we had before. We're still going to round it off. Okay? That's what I want you to do for me. Every time. Okay? Now be careful about using your calculator when you're mixing types of mathematical operations. Okay? You can't just put it in this times 1 plus this times 3. Your calculator may not do the calculation correctly. All right? And so if you do these operations, this sort of forces you to do the operations separately. Okay? Want to be careful about that. Okay, you need to keep your order of operations set up properly in your calculator. If you need help with that individually, I'll be glad to help you, or your math teacher can certainly help you with that. Okay? Questions? So this is the format that I expect to see for calculating molar mass. Okay?
Which one?
This one right here.
So we can't do the other one?
This is the one I expect to see. If you do this one, I probably wouldn't count it wrong. But this one actually usually ends up with more mistakes than that does. But that's, whatever. Okay?
All right.
But later on, when we do some other calculations, this is already set you up to get an answer for something else later. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So this is just the way we get the molar mass.
Yep.
Now we're going to use this molar mass. If you calculate the molar mass the way I've taught you here, you're already going to have this equality statement. Okay? And since we have an equality statement already, I'm ready to use that to build a conversion unit. So let's say I have 27.5 grams of PCl3. Okay? And I want to convert that to moles. Okay? So, yes, we're going to put the starting amount over 1.
Like out.
And then we're going to use this to build a conversion unit to do that. So we'll put 27.5 grams of PCl3. I'm going to put it over the number 1. Doesn't change the amount, just sets it up to make the math work out for us. Okay? Now we're going to take this equality statement here and put the side of the equality statement that matches our starting units and species. Units are grams, that's the measurement unit. Species is the chemical formula or whatever the substance is. Okay? So this is the side of the equality statement. Our whole equality statement is right here. Okay? And this right here is the side of the equality statement that matches our starting units and species. We want to put that on the bottom.